Guys, today I'm going to be walking you through how to use this room planner tool that we'll be using for your bedroom project and creating your floor plan and furniture arrangement for part one. So your final product will look something along the lines of this right here that I've created as an example. This is a smaller room example. Your room might be a little bit bigger and have some more square footage, kind of like this example here. But the main thing I want to do today is walk you through how to use the tools and what tools are available. So when you click on the link that is in the assignment description, it will take you to this page here, and you will simply click Start Planning. And the first thing you'll decide is what shape of room you would like to design. My recommendation would just be to go with the basic rectangle, but if you know for sure you want to plan for a master bathroom or a nice big closet, you might choose the L or U-shaped rooms. You can always add those things in later on your own, however. So for this example, I'm just going to start with the basic rectangle. And from there, you will choose your room dimensions. If you'll recall, the project requirement says your dimensions should be between 12 and 18 feet. And you can use a square or a rectangle. But we want to keep a fairly average size room for this project. So within 12 to 18 feet is what we're going to shoot for. I think I will do 15 by 18 for this example. And once I do that, it will populate my room here for me. Now, the first thing I would recommend doing is adding in your doors and windows, because as you can see here, it just gives you the basic wall outline. And so to do that, I'm going to go over to this toolbar, and rather than stay on the accessories menu, I'm going to choose architectural features. And if I flip through the list, there's several different types of windows and doors. There's even the option to add fireplace and some things like that. So I'm going to keep this example fairly basic by choosing this door that I will place right here in the corner. And I always want my door to swing inward, and I just realized I had that placed wrong. There we go. I always want my door to swing inward, and I always want it to swing towards the corner. So since that door is not swinging towards the corner, I need to rotate it around. And you'll notice that even if I keep rotating it, that door is never going to swing towards the corner. So what I actually need to do is grab this other door, and I will just delete this one, and I will reposition the door in the corner. I also want to point out that you do want the door to align right there with the wall outline. So basically, if you have it in the right place, the wall will disappear at the doorway, because obviously we need a place to enter in the room. Next, I will put some windows in my space. I think I'll put one here. Actually, I think I'll put 2 windows, both on this far side of the room. You can choose however many windows you want to include. You do need at least 1. I would probably not do more than 3, just because most bedrooms aren't super bright and sunny. But you can choose some different types of windows. There's a bay window here, and some options like that. In addition to your entry door, you should also have a closet door, and you might even choose to have a door to the master bathroom. So when you're choosing a closet door, you want to keep in mind that it's best to have your closet doors adjacent to the entry door so that we're not taking up wall space on both sides of a room. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my closet doors right along this same wall. And I will use bifold doors just so you can see a couple different examples. I'll put that right here. Now, I did not choose a room that had an L shape, so I need to go ahead and plot my closet dimensions as well. I can do that by clicking this structural icon. It looks like bricks up here on the top toolbar. And I will click and drag and click and drag and click and drag. And once I have my last wall, I don't want it to keep dragging. And so I'm just going to double click and it will plot my dimensions. Now, I was just kind of doing that without thinking about it too much, honestly. And so now that I'm looking at it, I can decide if I think this is a good size for my closet. This would be a nice big walk-in closet, so I think I am okay with that. But upon looking at it, I think I'd rather, instead of having these bifold doors, have just more of a traditional door. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these and go back and add just your standard swing door. And again, I always want that door to open inward and be toward the wall so that I don't waste unnecessary floor space. And you'll notice when I need to rotate something, I just click on this 90-degree button and that will rotate whatever it is I have in a 90-degree angle. Okay, so from here, I think I'm happy with my architectural features and I'm ready to start adding furniture. So the first thing I want to add to a bedroom is the bed. It's the biggest piece of furniture and typically the focal point. So based on the size of the room you've chosen and the client you're designing for, you can decide what size bed you think would be best. I think I will go ahead and use a king bed. So I'll just click and drag and I can choose to put it here against the back wall. I could flip it and put it over here between the windows. Several options that I could work with, but I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with this far wall here. Next, I think I'll add a chair. So I will choose a living room chair. And this one looks nice. It even has an ottoman with it. So if I want to rotate the chair to be more at an angle, instead of just clicking the 90-degree button like I have been, what I can do is hold down on that button and then rotate it just like I would do if I was working in Microsoft Word or Google Drive or one of those programs that you might be more familiar with. And then I can reposition that piece of furniture wherever I think it would work best. I'll add a dresser. Let's see. There we go. And again, you can just keep flipping through, finding the ones that appeal to you most. I'm going to rotate this. And so forth. So you can see you're basically just adding the different pieces of furniture. You do want to include at least 7. That can be lamps, nightstands, the bed and chair, obviously. Anything that I've already included counts. A rug even could count as part of your furniture. Mirrors, all kinds of things you might consider adding. So feel free to look through this list and find various things that you think would make good additions to your design and include them in your furniture arrangement. Once you have all the furniture plotted, you do want to consider the clearance spaces that are mentioned in your sleeping area notes. It's important to make sure that you have plenty of functional space in the bedroom between or in front of those very highly walked around places. So in front of the dresser, in front of the closet, around the bed, those are all going to be places where it's important to have plenty of clearance space. So in order to indicate that you do have that clearance space, we're going to use this ruler or measuring tool up here along the top toolbar, and we can indicate that we do in fact have that suggested clearance space in front of those important areas. So I can do that by clicking and dragging. to indicate whatever clearance space I want to show. So around the bed, I should have at least 22 inches, so I have plenty of area to walk around. So simply by adding that arrow to indicate that I at least have 22 inches will designate that clearance space. And again, I want that on both sides of the bed, so I will do that twice. You will indicate that clearance space, like I said, in front of the closet, the dresser, on both sides of the bed. And then you also need to show your dressing circle, which is basically 3.5 feet of space that you have to easily move around and get dressed in your bedroom. Typically, we designate that by a circle, as you would assume in the name. But since we don't have that exact tool to use in this website, we will simply use 2 arrows in an X feature to show that we do have that space that we need. So I'm going to take that measuring tool, I'm going to draw my arrow, and if I'm having trouble getting it exactly where I want it to be, what I can do is double click on the middle, type that I need 42 inches of space, and it will resize that arrow for me. And I can also duplicate and rotate so that I don't have to do that multiple times if I'm struggling with getting those dimensions just right. So like I said, we'll put that in an X motion, and that way it at least indicates that while we don't have that typical dressing circle, we do have that clearance space available in the room. So these are just a few of the features. It doesn't cover everything you'll need to include in your project, but it kind of gives you an idea of how to get started and what tools will be useful. Once you're finished with your design, you will be taking a screenshot of your final product and saving that screenshot as an image. So I'm going to go back to this example that I've completed. You'll notice it has the clearance spaces, it has several pieces of furniture, and I'm going to take a screenshot using the snipping tool of this finished design. I want to make sure that I include the dimensions for the perimeter of the room as well, so that you can indicate that the room is also of proper size. And finally, I want to show my circulation path. So I'm going to take my drawing tool right here, and I'm going to draw arrows to indicate that I can easily get to every place within the room that one might want to travel. So starting at the entry, I will draw an arrow to this side of the bed. From that point, I'll draw an arrow to the chair. I'll draw an arrow to this side of the bed and also to the closet. And that basically indicates that I can easily move around through the space and all the different paths someone might take around the room. I know this part might not be as perfect as you might want it to be based on your abilities to draw on your tablet of your computer, but just do your best to try to keep it nice and neat and professional as much as possible. Once your circulation path is indicated, we will save our image onto our computer, and you will be able to upload that image into your project submission. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm excited to see your room designs.